It's the Rundown presented by Whoop. It's the most popular fitness membership in the world right now that provides 24/7 personalized insight into your recovery, your strain, your sleep, your vitals, your air, your breathing, all that and more. The sleep and strain coaches are the key though. So it'll show you how much strain you put on your body, how much activity you go through during a certain day, whether it's moderate strain, light strain, heavy strain, the good kind, the bad kind. And then at night, it tells you about your sleep recovery. So you know whether you're sleeping deep enough, getting into your REM cycles, whether you get disturbed at night. So you know, like, all right, today's I really recovered, so I'm going to go work out today because I'm going to get the best of it. Or, I'm actually pretty down in the dumps. Today's a good day to just recover. And so it lets you work smarter and not necessarily harder. Right now here at Barstool, we're doing the Whoop Challenge. There's team cut versus team bulk. So everybody who's trying to lose weight knows exactly, how to do it, when to do it. And everyone trying to gain weight on team bulk is doing the same thing, just the opposite, because Whoop lets you know the best timing for things, what you need to change, what you need to keep, what you need to lean into. So it basically gives you all the numbers, and that way you can make your own decisions. It's hard when you're like dieting, working out. You don't really know what's going on. You don't know what's working, what's not working, if it's good for you, if it's bad for you. You wear the Whoop bracelet on your wrist, and it tells you all those things. Right now, you can get 15% off at checkout when you go to whoop.com. That's WHOOP.com. Enter code STOOL and get 15% off at checkout. We got Dikembe Mutombo north of the wall zooming in, and we got Danny Rona. The Coco, the Rona got Dan. How you feeling, man?
I'm okay. I feel like shit, but whatever. It sucks.
Are you home? Or are you like quarantined?
No, I'm trapped in a hotel.
Yeah, I was gonna say
locked in.
That's like, your wifey ain't, just kicking you out to the couch on that one. It's like, get the fuck
No, yeah, riding it out in a hotel. So, it sucks, but whatever. It's also, I feel like, traveling and also having a bunch of like 20-year-olds around us all the time, it was inevitable. I'm actually shocked it took this long.
That's what I
wear a mask, I do all the shit, but, there's no shaming in a pandemic. I'm sure there's some people who are probably going to shame me. I'm not going to be shamed.
You can't
just fucking root for me to beat this.
Well, you know what? Anybody who starts shaming you, I think you need to flip on them and be like, you got to shame them for shaming you. It's like, you can't, do you blame somebody when they, you get sick? Oh, you got cancer. We're going to shame you. So you caught a disease. Is that your fault?
If people shame me, I'll fucking die right in their face.
Oh, I would spite die so fucking quick if someone was telling me for that. You know what you should do, Dan? Fake your death.
I should actually, I'm going to have Jake Marsh after this just be like, dude, do a quick Twitter search of anyone who shamed me just in case I do die. So that way we're ready to fire, and then have someone do it from my account. So cause a ghost Twitter account just going after people and just fucking roasting people.
I thought we were going to get I thought we were going to get the big cat. I injected myself with the Rona, so we'd have March Madness coming, no problem. And this was basically the last obstacle, and now we're good.
Yes, I said that. That's the only silver lining is I did say last year, if they cancel March Madness, I'll inject myself with Corona.
If they outright cancel it, I want coronavirus. I will electively take coronavirus because at that point, there's no reason
to live,
to be healthy,
to survive.
There's nothing. Nothing. I will go. I will get. What's it going right now? It's like $5,000.
Yeah,
$4,500. I'll go get the $4,500 to get injected with coronavirus because I do not want to live on this earth.
So coming back around the stretch, we're a year later. You'd have to think that we'd probably lose March Madness again just because of my fucking dumbass and just saying shit out loud and not actually following through. Well, guess what? I'm following through. This shit sucks. I'm not going to be the preachy hey guys, I didn't realize how bad. I knew how bad it was. It's just as bad as everyone says it is. It fucking sucks. I feel like someone's sitting on my chest. Tank's sitting on my chest right now. So, but that's it. We'll get through it. We'll fight through it.
Maybe we'll start our podcast. Hey guys, this is Big Cat. Corona's a very serious thing. You don't want to get it. It sucks. We'll start that as our new fucking pre-roll.
Put a mask on. Yeah, put a mask on.
Oh no, we're gonna have Danny coughs during. We can't make Dan laugh today.
If you make me laugh, I cough.
Speaking of the NCAA tournament, we'll start there. The NCAA has released the scheduling for the tournament. It's a lot to get into. Dan, you seem to have the best grasp of it. It sounds like they're, instead of Thursday through Sunday, it's Friday through Monday. And the games aren't overlapping like they used to. It's kind of like you get to see every single game. Is that the vibe?
So they already changed, like they announced a change a couple weeks ago about the no Thursday. So it's Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday for the first round. In the second round, Sweet 16 and Elite Eight are Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. So I'm pissed that there's no Thursday, but now that they've released the schedule, the benefit is the Saturday, Sunday Sweet 16 is all like standalone games. Remember how they used to play Sweet 16 would be like one game would start at like 7:40 and the next game would start at 8:10 and it'd be like a 10:10 and a 10:30. And it would suck because you'd be like trying to focus on two games. Now it is all standalone games in the Sweet 16 and then primetime games Monday and Tuesday night, which I'm cool with that for the Elite Eight because like Mondays and Tuesday nights suck in the winter. You know what I mean?
Give you something to watch.
I think it's okay. Yeah.
I do think, early on, I kind of like the true madness of it all. Once you get into like the Sweet 16 though, and you're talking about either A, good teams, or B, like Cinderellas who are proving themselves, you kind of want to watch the games. You know what I mean? Like at that point,
right? I
don't have a problem with standalones because there's almost too much to keep up with in the beginning when it's on 4 different channels all day long. So I think I'm cool with all this. It does. I just did the snake draft with Chicago, talking about the worst days of the year. And one of my picks was the Monday after the first round, where you're just like, wait a minute, I've been doing basketball, gambling, wings, booze, beer, bar, sit on the couch for 4 straight days. And now I got to like go to work and I got to just be a real human. So this is the same vibe, just it'll push that. So yeah, but that sucks. So the first weekend of the tournament, you have a work day on a Monday, like Thursday and Friday, you start to mail it in.
It sucks for people who are not us.
Yeah,
like we're fine, but yes, it really
Friday you either take off or you blow off. Thursday was the one day you kind of had to navigate where you're like sneaking off. You do a late lunch, a long lunch, where you put the games on. But a Monday is like you got to get work done. It's the beginning of the work week. You're almost catching up from the prior week. That kind of does suck. I got to admit that.
That next week now is shot completely because Tuesday is you're paying for the sins of not only Friday, Saturday, Sunday, but then Monday Tuesday shot, Wednesday shot, then Thursday, then you're getting back into the next round. And it's like,
what is this? Oh. Why is this? Is this Corona related? Or they just
no. So the whole entire tournament's happening in Indianapolis, so there's no travel anymore. So I think they're trying to get more primetime games, and without travel, you can condense it a little bit. So like they're going the Monday to Saturday Sweet 16, and then the Elite Eight will be played on Tuesday, then Final Four on Saturday. So I get it. They're using this as kind of a trial where like, hey, we don't have to do any travel, so let's try to get as many weeknight prime time. Like a Monday night at 8:00 is a better time slot than a Saturday at like 3:00 or a Sunday at like 3:00. Like that just is TV wise. So that's what they're doing. Is Siena going to make it? Is Siena going to make it? They might.
They keep pausing they keep having a pause because the Rona just runs through them. But it's like we are becoming the Gonzaga of the East. I've been saying it for years, and now that we're actually on this path, and then we just can't play basketball anymore.
Which is very fitting, by the way. Like the Sienas of the world always getting sick, always having a problem when the big lights come on. Right?
Exactly.
Like, if Siena was a basketball team, if the daughter Siena was a basketball team, they would be Siena, the basketball team.
This is crazy. I'm looking at the Metro Atlantic standings right now. Siena's 8-2 in first. Iona's 3-1 in second, and Monmouth's 10-4. That's all over the place.
That's all over the map. I fucking hate Iona. Monmouth will always have a soft spot in my heart. Smoke University, smoke you from the Barstool blackout days. But you got to pull for Siena for the big guy.
Yeah.
Imagine if Siena made a run. Imagine if Siena was like a Final Four team.
Siena, the best mascot of these group.
Tricky Rick Pitino too. You don't want to Rick for Tricky Ricky, right? Come on, guys.
Come on.
It's the Siena St. Bernards, right?
Yeah, yep. And
Fucking awesome.
our old logo was sweet. He had a little halo. It was like when I went to school there. He was like a pretty cool looking skateboard art. This new one looks like he is a Rona. I'll be honest with you. Our current dog is a sickly looking dog. But he has heart where it counts. I also the worst thing about this was, like you said, those first few days were awesome because it was like going to a cheap buffet and you just load your plate with shit you would never even eat. You just throw it down.
Oh yeah.
But you need to like cherish those Sweet 16 games. Those are the best games of like the actual basketball. It's an event the first few days, and then it actually becomes like basketball later on. As a gambler, Dan, how do you treat this as a gambler? I feel like you want to see your games that you're gambling on, right? You want to see what's going on.
Yes, I think the Monday is going to just like screw things up, though. I just don't. It's just such like my body is just in a rhythm of like Thursday at noon. It's like, all right, don't talk to me for 4 days. Like I'll wake up on Monday morning and then I'll be a human being again. Now, like you won't see me till Tuesday. I don't know.
Wraparounds just don't work. You know what I mean? Like something that starts on a Friday that ends on a Monday night. It's just a Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, whether it's Thanksgiving or the tournament or whatever. That's just the blueprint. I don't like the wraparound. Anything that bleeds from one week to another, it ain't good.
The NCAA doing something for money. I mean, I just can't believe this would actually be the case.
Over to the social media world. RIP to the Sway House. The Sway House is a wrap. I haven't looked too much into it, but I do know Griffin Johnson's quote. He's one of the guys. He said, "Sway is bigger than just a house. It will live on as we continue to grow as people and further our careers as individuals. I will always honor the group that gave us such an amazing platform. Sway is a lifestyle / part of me that will carry on forever. It can't die." Someone else said, "It's not just a Sway house, it's a Sway home." So people are in their feelings. So then obviously you start connecting the dots. Sway House was cooking, fired on all cylinders. Dave Portnoy shows up in that world, gets involved with Josh Richards. Bingo, bango, bongo. Next thing you know, the Sway House is no longer. I guess Josh on BFFs said it's not Dave. I'll play it for you guys.
On Sway House. Do you think I split it up? No, I don't. I think that that's something that people are talking about. It's weird. I got paparazzi yesterday about it. It's a really hard thing to say it's split up or like it's still even. It's weird because like half the people are already out of it. Sway was a amazing like group of all of us, but we still have our own directions we go in.
So
wait, how long did it exist for, Kevin? We need some. I assume, Clem, you're like me. Like I need some basic facts before I start making some judgments.
Yeah, the Sway House. The Sway House was the first thing that hit me, where it was like you saw like just how much views they got and money they made, and I was like, oh, I am completely washed up. Like I have no idea this thing even existed. And you just realized it was its own business.
That can't be true. Jackie just looked it up for me. It says January 4th, 2020. I mean,
that's exactly what I thought.
I thought it was gonna be. I mean, they're all so young that obviously it can't be much. Yeah.
No, dude.
The house was founded January 4th, 2020 in Bel Air, California. Now, when did the Hype House start? Because that was the G1. But it's probably not much more. It's probably like 6 months prior because these guys, December 2019. So they've got like another. No, there's only like a couple months on them. So these things are all basically just a year old.
It's so funny, and they're gonna be like, I'm sure they'll all look back and be like, yeah, remember how crazy it was, like all of us under one roof. Like I don't.
You know what it is? That makes sense.
Broke it up? Do you think?
Well, okay. Let me just say, it does. It feels like the normal people version is when you're like, these guys are really young, but let's say when you're like 24 and it's like, remember that apartment we had in the city, man? Like you sign a 1-year lease, you party, you have fun. This guy gets a girlfriend and has to move out. This guy gets a job elsewhere. And it's like, hey, we'll always have Murray Hill, man. Remember that time? Right. Except these guys just did it for like millions of dollars in Hollywood. I don't know if Dave broke it up, but I'll say this. You know that Dave wants to be the reason.
Yes.
He wants, like, he's like, Josh, you think I broke it up? It's because on the inside, he wants to think, I came in here, dropped a stick of dynamite. I made fun of him. I made you question what you're doing. I reminded this, that, the other thing. So he wants the credit for blowing it up. I don't know if he deserves it or not. What do you think, Clem?
I mean, like you said, and then there's the girl that started hanging with the 40-year-old guy, and then she was the one that really just poisoned the well, right?
Right. Yeah.
I said this on We Gotta Believe when we were talking about the whole Steve Cohen fiasco. We are officially living in Portnoy vision. I don't understand how, but everyone went into his realm when we got stuck inside during this pandemic. We're living online, and Dave was just waiting for us at the gate, and now he has us locked in. So if Dave was the one who did that, he was the one with these fucking GameStop people. He had hordes of finance bros coming at his back. I don't understand where we live anymore. And this is like the world Dave wanted back in the old rundowns when you guys were doing it back in the day, right? And he felt like he had like real like pull on people. I think he's actually like, he might be the big bad of WandaVision. We're going to find out in the finale. We're going to find out Dave is the devil, which is who everyone's saying is like the root cause of it all.
I watched.
Well, I was gonna say he says like I think like I don't listen to all of the Dave Portnoy show with Eddie, but I'll listen to snippets and I'll see the clips on online. But he'll say once an episode like I'm more powerful than I ever have been, and it's like scary.
I pivot on a level that very few pivot on. Like I go from political air quotes rants to TikTok dances, to 14-year-olds, to DDTG, to fucking football, to conference calls with CEOs, to fucking launching new companies, to drinks. I just pivot, move, and shake. People, my enemies, look for me. It's like when you see the Untouchables, the time they do that bust, they think they get Al Capone, they open its umbrella. My enemies look for me, they come do the bust. I'm 18 states away on my 28th project when they've been staking out an empty warehouse.
It's got range. The man's got range.
Yes.
He's speaking like Thanos.
Wait, he's like threatening.
My powers
like
are almost
threatening
complete.
people. Well, thank God he's on my team.
I know.
I mean, I'm on his team. Like, I don't. When he says that, imagine being an enemy of Dave Portnoy and hearing him just repeatedly say that over and over. Like, I've never been stronger. I've never been more powerful. I would be fucking shaking in my boots.
It's very weird for normal people to use the word powerful. You know what I mean? Like unless we're talking about unless we're talking about like a military branch.
Your deadlift. Yeah, your deadlift.
You're just like, my powers are at its peak. Like, okay, you psychopath. When I watched the clip that Viva La Stool put out, probably how many years ago? I'm not sure. The debate about would you rather be Robert Kraft or Hank, which is one of my all-time favorite debates.
Bob Kraft is a fucking billionaire, right? That's the dumbest question of all time.
No, it isn't. I saw Bob Kraft at the Patriots party with Rick Ross. I'm telling you, he doesn't have like freedom of movement. He's getting old. He can't enjoy things like a 40-year-old billionaire. He's an old fucking
Hank's
guy.
never going to be a billionaire.
But it doesn't matter.
Hank's never going to be a millionaire.
No, definitely not. Unless he gets Taco Bell money.
And when after a 10-minute argument, Hank chimes in at the end.
Hank, what would you pick?
I'd pick Bob Kraft. I mean,
I guess there it is. I mean, he's Hank. Hank is Hank, and he just picked Bob Kraft.
Would, Hank?
He probably has like windows in his bedroom.
And he lives in a fucking hole, dude.
Well, I think that Robert Kraft probably has windows in his bedroom and then pulls out. But what was crazy about that was watching Dave like conduct that rundown where he was like so engaged and like playing along with a hypothetical and arguing and listening to all sides. I haven't heard him like do that kind of shit in years. It's just like, I'm so powerful. That's what he's talking about now. It's a lot has changed, and you're right, Clem. Now it's Portnoy's world. We're just living in it. As long as he like allows us to and doesn't use his powers against us.
But one last thing about the Sway House, you nailed it, Kevin. Like everyone would be like, oh my God, I can't believe this place is breaking up. Everyone has gone through that. The post-college, these guys didn't go to college, but apartment where it's like, oh, this is going to be sick. We're going to get the greatest apartment ever. We're going to be here forever. It's like, no, maybe a year or two. And then everyone just like, all right, well, I kind of want to be able to control my own, remote control every night and have, my own fridge and all that stuff.
Like, it's just not natural at what point when you all get together and it's cool. It's like, all right, now I can make TikToks with all the biggest people. It's almost what we're doing here at Barstool, get everyone under one roof. But then once everyone has their own careers and they're all established, it's like, I kind of want to have my own home.
Right.
Like,
I'm rich. I like all these guys are rich now. Of course they want to have their own shit.
there's probably a couple dudes though. Like this happened with the Paul brothers. They had Team 10. What was their house called? Do you know? They had a house name as well, I think. And like Logan and Jake and Tana, those guys were rich. But then like the 7, 8, 9, 10th members, I think were like, no, let's keep this going. Like, let's keep the house. Like, I need to make more fucking money. But yeah, Sway is no longer RIP. That news actually came out a couple days ago. So did this. We're late to the party on this one. It never made the cut for the rundown, but I feel like we got to get Barstool to weigh in on it. The Gorilla Glue girl on Twitter and TikTok. She went viral last week. So she ran out of like this hairspray, hair glue material that like really like pushes your hair down. And she was like, I ran out of my hair glue, so I used this Gorilla Glue. Pretty sure everybody's familiar with Gorilla Glue. If you're not, it's like this industrial strength glue. It's used for like carpentry and like, heavy duty work around the house. And her hair was like plastered down and has been so for like a month. They had Gorilla Glue, the Gorilla Glue like account was commenting on her TikTok being like, you got to wrap your head in oil and let it sit. And like, but at the end they were like, no promises. Like you might lose your hair because it's been a month. So
holy shit.
Like
God
God bless her.
Now.
God bless her for this.
She had to go to LA for a procedure that takes 2 to 3 days.
Oh yeah, she said so. She's on TMZ. I finally cut my ponytail off, but my scalp still burns. Her name is Tessica. That's a new one. They worked on her hair for 4 hours, and they needed to chop off the ponytail to go with it. It is, but God bless Tessica for putting this on the internet. These are things that you don't have to do. This girl could have just been like, oh my God, this is such an embarrassing moment. I'm going to leave it at that. And she chose to share this with the world. And now it's fucking hilarious. So, and you know what? Hopefully, I'm sure some like hair salon will like swoop in and give her like a lifetime supply of goods or whatever. You know what I mean? But thank God for uploading your embarrassing shit to the internet. What do you got on Gorilla Glue, man?
So I don't know if she was actually like doing it for like a TikTok to get, clout or tweets or whatever, re TikToks. I don't know what the fuck they're called.
It seemed pretty genuine that she was just like, oh no, I fucked up.
Yeah, and it didn't say on the label like don't put on your hair. It said don't put on your eyes, your skin. I mean, I fucked with Gorilla Glue around the house because I'm an idiot, and it got stuck to my skin the minute I opened it. I had fucking Gorilla. I was like, oh my God. It ain't like Elmer's. Remember you guys used to do Elmer's and people would like make it look like they're ripping their skin off and shit like that. Mm-hmm. So she puts it in her hair. I think she's already gotten like GoFundMe. I've already gotten like tens of thousands of dollars from her fans. And I heard there was rumors. I think I read that she was gonna like potentially sue Gorilla Glue. And then I get into the thing. I'm like, it's like the McDonald's coffee on the lap. I'm like, you motherfucker. But then I go, I wish I had thought of it first. It's like when you hear everyone else getting rich off GameStop and shit like that. It's like, why didn't someone tell me at $3 to get in? Why didn't someone tell me to throw it in my hair? I barely have any. I could fucking get away with it. I probably would die though. I feel like her hair is the only thing that saved her life.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. It was like her first line of defense on the Gorilla Glue there. Dan?
Yeah. I can't believe this story is real. This is.
Have you ever done
crazy.
anything like? I mean, obviously not this dumb, but like if you do something dumb to your hair or your skin or like I remember when I was younger, I fucked around with nair. I was nairing my chest, and then it was like hurting and burning, and I was just like, why did I do this? Why did I do this? What? I'm so fucking stupid. This is next level though, putting goddamn glue in your hair.
That I've never done anything like that, but there is that instant moment after a significant injury or fuck up that like the worst feeling in the world. You're like, oh gee, like I've hurt myself drunk before, and you're just like, what the fuck? You're such an idiot. Like, dude, if I could just go back 10 seconds, I would change everything.
I had a buddy, we were in the Bahamas for spring break, and we were on the second floor balcony, and he wanted to rappel off the balcony with a rope that was attached to like the life ring at the pool. So he like kind of put the life ring around him and he rappels off. We gave him way too much slack, so he just fucking hit the ground. But on the way down, he was holding the rope and it just burned his hands. So he had these like monster blisters all over his palms. And it was night 1 in the Bahamas. And I sat there with him, we were blacked out at like 5 a.m. And he put his hands in a bowl of ice water and he was just sitting there and he was like, this week is ruined. Like I'm not gonna be able to like touch anything. And he just sat there being like, I can't believe it is. I can't believe it is. And there's no time machine. There's no fix. It's just the worst.
That's a wet bandits kind of injury. I feel like you just have to deal the rest of the week being a wet bandit. When you said that, Dan, I actually thought of when I was a kid, like, I don't know, 10, 12, whenever, and you're in the fire. And I was like, light like a little fire. And it was probably the size of like a basketball in terms of like radius. And then I put in whatever it was, WD-40 or something. And the feeling in my stomach, when it went to like 5 times, it was like, I just burnt my house down. I was thinking, I got fucking goosebumps. Just and anyone who fucked with fire had that moment where they're like, all right, I'm done fucking with fire. And that was mine.
Yep. It's so true.
Second half of the rundown is brought to you by Movement. Join the motherfucking movement, boys, girls, everybody. It's a worldwide movement now. Movement started with us. They were down. They had like $1,000 to spend, and they bought like a one-time ad. They were a startup company that knew to get down with Barstool, and boy, has it paid off. They're like a multi-$100 million company now, all across the world with an ever-expanding list of products and goods you can get. So they were down with us. You should get down with them, whether it's watches or sunglasses or eyeglasses. They've got it all. Hundreds of styles to choose from, materials, colors, sizes, men's, women's, whatever. You get the watch, you get the sunglasses to match. You got the eye scroll, the Ever Scroll glasses for your eyes that help filter out the blue light. And whether you're looking at your phone or your computer all day long, they can help your eyes while you look good. So you can accessorize, you can mix and match. And it's the perfect Valentine's Day gift because the guys, we know we got to go get flowers. You do like chocolates, jewelry, a teddy bear, whatever. Maybe you got to get a real gift and you're getting jewelry or something like a bag or clothes. And then the guys kind of get fucked. It's like, what are you supposed to get the guys for Valentine's Day, Boom, Movement watch. Or your girl. They have the female ones as well. But a nice watch for your guy on Valentine's Day to show that, you care too. And it's not just all about the girl. It's perfect. Right now, you can get 20% off when you use the code VDAY20 at checkout. So go to mvmt.com/rundown. That's mvmt.com/rundown so that Barstool gets its credit, and then use VDAY20 for 20% off, free shipping, free returns, and get all the Valentine's Day gifts you need this season. That's mvmt.com/rundown, code VDAY20. Next up, we got this cat, the lawyer cat.
Thank you, Kevin. You said it correctly.
The lawyer
it's
cat?
Fucking cat. No, he's a cat.
The cat. Right. It's not a lawyer. It's a fucking cat. This is just a good, wholesome internet piece of content. If you haven't seen it, it's a Zoom call with a judge and a lawyer. He's got the filter stuck on, and it's a cat pretending to be a lawyer.
Mr. Ponton, I believe you have a filter turned on in the video settings. You might want to take
we're trying to, can you hear me, Judge?
I can hear you. I think it's a filter.
It is, and I don't know how to remove it. I've got my assistant here. She's trying to, but I'm prepared to go forward with it. I'm here live. I'm not a cat.
I can see that. I think if you click the up arrow next to this,
that's just a fact. That's just a fact.
When he said, "I'm not a cat," I was like, "Nice fucking try, buddy."
It's exactly what a cat would say. A cat imposing as a lawyer. That's exactly what you'd say. The judge was great too. He's like, "Yeah, I know. I know you're not a cat." Why else would a lawyer show up You know?
I spent an hour yesterday trying to figure out if it was a cat who learned how to read, talk, and went to law school, or if it was someone who got a curse placed on him by, again, I'm really into WandaVision, so I'm thinking witchcraft and stuff like that. And it's like, oh, you have like a Zoom meeting with the judge, cat, and then you're a fucking talking cat. What do? You can't do anything.
And again, the people, I don't know who, did the judge upload this? Did the opposing lawyer? Did the cat upload it himself? I love,
it was the witch. The witch uploaded it. She
is that Clarissa? Clarissa explains it all. Wasn't there a talking cat?
Sabrina, same girl.
What's Clarissa explains it all?
There's Sabrina the Teenage Witch and Clarissa explains it all, and they are played by the same girl. Yeah, the same actress. So you were close.
Really?
Yeah, right.
What the fuck was it? What the fuck was Clarissa explains it all about?
That was just a girl who lived like her teenage years and had her gay neighbor climb through her roof all the time, through her window.
Oh, and this is the chick. This is the chick that you like. Wait, was she Clueless?
Nope. She was Clarissa.
Same though.
Melissa Joan Hart.
Yeah, I don't know Silverstone and Melissa Joan Hart. Yeah, it was
I always got them. Which one was Swim Fan or no? The nanny.
The nanny.
The crush. That was Alicia Silverstone.
Okay, see, I got there. Like I have their IMDb, but it doesn't actually make sense in my head.
And I'll give you $500 if you can name Clarissa's brother. What was his name?
Redhead. Hint, it's a redhead. I think so.
Yeah.
Oh, is it one of the Pete's?
It might.
Dan just like has an idea of what Nickelodeon was, but I don't think he ever actually watched it.
You're in the Nickelodeon cinematic universe, but you can't get the right
the NCU.
This would be great to like. It's like drunk history, but it's actually not. I'm not drunk. I just like don't remember anything from like anything before like last week.
Corona history.
Yeah. Wait, was it one of the Pete's?
Named Ferguson the redhead, and Sam was the neighbor climbing through her window. He was definitely gay, unless Sam was gonna eventually hook up with her climbing through that window. Sam had to be gay.
Ferguson.
How did we get on Clarissa? What just happened?
The cat,
Sabrina,
the cat, the witch.
Jason Zimbler.
You know what this reminded me of? And like this was such a, like I said, just like a wholesome piece of internet content. Kind of the opposite of that. It happened like a year or two ago, and everybody laughed at it. And I'm surprised they did so based on how touchy the internet is these days. Remember when the grandpa just ate fucking paint and was walking around with a paint mouth, and everyone was like, ha ha ha, it's so funny. And I was like, this is kind of fucking scary that this old man ate paint. And I was the internet was just actually laughing at something for once. That was great. But old people and the internet, whether it's a cat or eating your fucking yogurt paint, it's internet magic.
Actually, like, I don't want to get like that. I don't want to get like dark with it, but it's like I just feel like this is the sense of the internet finally moving on. There's been a lot of politics in our lives. The election's over, new president, all this kind of stuff. We can finally get back to just stupid shit like a guy turning into a cat. It felt so fucking good to just watch that video. And that's all it was on my timeline. There was no more political shit. There was no dollar signs in front of stocks. It was just a guy who became a cat, or a cat who learned how to talk and became a lawyer. It's incredible.
I'll bet you there'll be a cryptocurrency with this cat in like a week to combat the Dogecoin. It'll be like the cat coin, and it'll be that fucking lawyer cat.
Yeah.
Those eyeballs too, when he's looking in the corner, and then just their voices, it was all perfect.
It was right when he was like trying to figure out what he was gonna say to convince them that he wasn't actually a cat. That's why I was like, dude, that's a cat.
We got a couple things are returning. High C is returning to McDonald's, which I think this is a big deal for some people. I personally, if you go to McDonald's and you don't get a large Sprite, I mean, McDonald's Sprite, to me, it's the only place that you can get that Sprite with the extra bubbles, the extra syrup. It's ice cold. I would never even consider getting something else besides a Sprite, but I guess this is a big deal to some. Clem, are you a high C McDonald's guy?
I'm a high C McDonald's guy. I'm actually a Coke guy first. McDonald's Coke, I feel like I have my Coke ranking.
Sprite!
The Sprite, Kev, I don't know how to say this. I'm a pussy. That Sprite is too fucking spicy for me. That thing punches. Yeah, it burns you, man. It's like going like 151 straight to your gut, down your gullet. McDonald's Coke, I have it. I think I have Santa Coke 1, McDonald's Coke 2, and then glass bottle Coke / Mexican Coke 3, whatever you want to do with those 3. Those are like tier 1 Cokes by far. But sometimes I'm just not in the mood for bubbles and orange high C, especially when you're a kid. There's a lot of nostalgia. So like this is my TikTok house. This was my sway house. It was orange high C, and it just got removed from us like 4 years ago, and it's back now. And like, it just makes me feel, because again, I just feel older every single day. I like don't understand what's going on in the latest viral trends. Seeing McDonald bringing back the high C just made me feel good. By the way, I saw this fucking fun fact today too. Kanye, college dropout, turned 17 today. 17.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Doesn't feel good. It does not feel good. It really doesn't.
Oh my God.
Yeah. God.
Damn.
Like
that one hurts.
We were like fully grown humans. We had a fully grown brain at that point.
Yeah.
And we were like, and I felt like I was like in the midst of like life. And when that album came out, and
fuck. Yeah, now that album is its own fully grown human.
Yes.
Right. Yeah, that album can go to the club. You know, I saw Get Rich or Die Trying turned 18, and everyone was like, how is In the Club old enough to be in the club? I was like, fuck, man.
10 years ago was forever 1996 in my mind. For some reason, 1996 just became the year for me. And I think Coley was tweeting about something like KG was saying how like players, 20 years ago couldn't play today. And they're like, everyone's like Allen Iverson. And then I think he means the 90s too. Like everyone's brain from that era is thinking 90s. So I also think McDonald's always brings these things back. I think right now when everyone's in New Year, New Me, the Super Bowl just ended, so everyone's starting to die. They're like, we're bringing back high C, motherfuckers. They're like, all right, guess we're going back to McDonald's.
Yeah, and high C, like, I know that this doesn't do anything, but I just assume every time I drink high C, it was healthy for me. So
it's all right.
Like COVID, like let's kill COVID with high C.
Quickly, because I know you guys don't watch it, but I got to mention it. Also returning, we had High C. We've also got Clone High. If you haven't seen Clone High, it's only 2 seasons, I believe. Third season is now coming back. It was a cartoon on MTV. It's one of the most creative scripts and plot lines you'll ever see. The idea is that like the government and this like evil scientist cloned everyone in history. He had DNA from JFK, Cleopatra, Joan of Arc, Abe Lincoln, Gandhi, all this shit. Imagine if all those famous people from throughout history were of high school age. So they're like teenagers with hormones and they're fucking each other and they're partying and they're going to school. It was the funniest shit ever. It got canceled because I think Gandhi had ADD and I think they got like, a little too ethnic and a little too racial, whatever. It's so fucking funny though. It's coming back. If you're not a Clone High person, go watch it. If you are, there's very few of us, but we are loud and we are legion. So we're very pumped about the return of High Noon. And we got to wrap up here with the big news of the day, the big news of the internet. It's your boy Dan PFT versus that fucking little weasel Darren Rovell. Potentially in Rough and Rowdy. Darren said, I want $2 million and I'll fight PFT. This is exactly what Dave wanted, by the way. Dave on purpose.
Not this though. Not Rovell.
Correct. He did want people with a big following who could draw a lot of pay-per-views thinking to themselves, hey, if Jose made $1 million, I can too. So credit to Rovell. He did throw his dick on the table being like, give me $2 million. But PFT countered with the internet's version of an I Quit match where you got to delete your Twitter account.
So PFT would kick his ass. We all agree on that. The problem here is I just don't like Rovell. Let's just realize what Rovell is doing. He's so fucking annoying and he inserts himself in everything. And all he wants is for us to talk about him, which we're doing right now. So mission accomplished. But he essentially just out of the clouds is like, I'll do it for $2 million. And now everyone's going to talk about me for the next 24 hours. And I'm going to get Barstool to talk about me.
Was it truly out of the clouds or are you guys? Yeah. I mean, I know we're always beefing, but was there something? Yeah.
This is what Rovell does. He gets everyone to talk about him so that he can be like, oh, I'm going viral again. Like, I can't, there's no way we can, I want to see PFT beat Rovell's ass, but not at letting Rovell, because Rovell will spin it as a win. He'll be like, you pay me $2 million and also Barstool talked about me for 6 months.
Well, he did that already. I think PFT or somebody was tweeting out a video of him when he proposed to Kate Upton.
Yeah.
And he was like, I told her to say no because I know that we'd go more viral. So in his mind, he'll be like, oh, a knockout will be like, that'll get more eyeballs.
Right.
So it's actually a good thing that I'm on my back. Like, yeah, dude, you got knocked the fuck out. PFT would massacre him, by the way. He is a very, like, he's a very athletic dude, played rugby. Like, he would wail on that kid, on that guy. But I actually think it's kind of a lose-lose for PFT in the sense, like,
yes,
everybody would love to, I would love to see that. But then all of a sudden, it's like watching, if you like beat up the nerd in school, it's like, well, then you become like the bully. You know what I mean? If PFT just like fucking sure you can, then like knocked his head off, it would be like, oh, dude, that wasn't cool. You beat up like this old nerd.
This literally happened to me when I played Rovell one-on-one, which, Barstool was a lot smaller then. But I remember vividly leaving the gym, beating him 11-0 and talking to Dave. And it's like, I think Rovell kind of won that. Because he gets everyone to feel bad for him and he gets everyone to talk about him. He's a fucking weasel. We cannot let him do this.
No, I know. You're right on that. There is some level, though, of like, it would be great to just have that meme follow him for the rest of his life. Like, he was like laid out on the mat. It would be, it would kind of silence him in some regard in this, not silence him, but everyone always has a trump card on him now, no matter what he wants to do with his brand and his money. Knocked out.
We should honestly just say, what we should do is we should say, Rovell, we're not going to talk about this. You can fight for free like any other Rough and Rowdy participant. If you win, you get what every other Rough and Rowdy participant gets. Because really at the end of the day, Rovell, like the internet clout and us talking about him, which again, we're doing right now, so we're falling into his hands. That's worth more than money for him. So we're just like, dude, you're fighting for free. If you want to come and get your ass kicked by PFT for free, you're more than welcome to. And we'll put on that fight and we will make a shitload of money. Barstool, he doesn't get any money. So we can be like, guess what? We don't care if you get your clout. We got all the money. And that's that.
And we
put money and clout.
$2 million to the Barstool Fund, no matter what. How does that sound?
Fuck that, Clem. $2 million to Barstool.
Yeah.
Okay, that's it. The Barstool Sports.
How much longer is the Barstool Fund going to loom over everybody who ever comes into any money? Like right now, if you win any money or get anything, everyone's like, how much are you donating? How much are you going to give? Coming into money right now is the worst thing that can happen. If you need that money, everybody just expects you to donate it. I think the difference, like Jose, as much of a fucking asshole as he was, like I think he drove a lot of those pay-per-views, In this case, I think it's more about wanting to see PFT beat that guy up, where like it still should be Barstool money, not Darren Rovell's money.
Correct.
Jose took a dive and he's a dickhead for that, but people were buying those pay-per-views because of him. Whereas I think this is more like, we want to see PFT beat up a fucking nerd who's an asshole. It just happens to be that you're the asshole. So that would probably more so than Jose walking away with $1 million would be Darren walking away with 2. I can't.
He would hold that over our heads for
Forever.
the rest of our lives.
Yep.
He'd be like, Dave Portnoy, you paid me 2. Dave would never do it, and he shouldn't do it because Darren can't. Like you just can't deal with people like this. So I think that should be our opportunity. You get to fight for free. We won't even put it at the end of the fight card. We'll put it like right in the middle. You know what I mean? You'll go next to fucking
regular ass match.
Yeah, right. Like, you'll go between the Demon Crew and the Hell's Monkeys or whatever, and you'll just fucking fight number 12. PFT will kick the fucking shit out of you. You get a little buzz from us, but $0.
You know what I would say? I think there's one way in which Darren can get his $2 million. He's got to fight Shizat the Rizat.
Oh,
I mean, Shizat would take his head off his body. He would decapitate. Yeah. So it's like, you can get your $2 million, but you won't have a head anymore, Darren, because it'll be rolling around on the fucking mat in West Virginia. Shizat's
he has to cancel his insurance, then go in for the fight, and then if he has to pay $2 million in hospital bills from like a new head, he walks away. Would you say he's the number one like most punchable person on the internet that like we know of in our little circle of like sports, Barstool, Twitter, whatever you want to call it? Is he number one?
That's a great question.
I feel like he might be. Like Jose's a more known name, but everyone's so much like he's fucking Jose Canseco, right? At this point, he's kind of just become
also the term punchable is very specific. Like Jose's an asshole, but he's like a fucking big juice head, like tough guy.
Yeah.
Punchable has to be more of like a nerdy, weaselly type. I would say Samir from Deadspin, if he had more of a, I don't know what he looks like. I can't tell you what his face is, but whatever his face is, I would want to see it punched. I think Darren's probably the most well-known one. Yeah.
Yeah, I was just say Clay Travis.
Yeah.
The Rovell, I mean, the guy tweeted how fucking JFK getting his head blown off at like 8 a.m. when Mike.
Oh, it's Rovell number one. I'm just throwing out other people.
Yeah. I just just some of the stuff, like the tweets he has. Oh God, he's just the worst. So yeah, Dave will never do it, right? Would you say that?
It's really just the people who are on Twitter who do like the well actually and always try to like correct people and get into semantics wars. Those are the ones that, in my mind, end up like in the punchable. You know what I mean?
But
they're always just on Twitter trying to win little fights.
When he's tweeting about the Pantones colors, like that kind of stuff, like
right.
Actually it's Pantone 111, not 112. It's actually peach, not melon. Like fucking knock you out, man. That's like I feel like PFT is almost like when Nate Diaz and them were talking to Jake Paul, where they're like, I don't want to box you. I want to fucking fight you. I just want to fuck you up. I just need PFT to beat up Darren Rovell on the street. We don't need to do it for money. I just want him to beat him up on the fucking block. What would it take for you to delete your Twitter, by the way? That was PFT's counter. I don't think Darren would delete it for anything because that's like his life and his career. What would you do?
Yeah. He wouldn't do it for the Twitter is everything. Like the Twitter is you're right. It's his entire life.
Existence. Yeah.
If someone were going to pay me like $20 million, I would maybe delete my Twitter just because like, all right, I'll just leave.
Brother, I hope you would for $20 million. I don't know what kind of money.
Just like I'm out of here.
But I hope $20 million would be enough to delete an app. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd be like, I'm out of here forever. So
I took like a little Twitter vacation. I took a Twiter vacation during like Christmas break, and I'll tell you, man, it was delightful. It's fucking it's bad.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else? Any after show?
I'll say, Kev, this Clone High thing, it reminds me of Drawn Together. Do you ever see Drawn Together on Comedy Central? It's similar to that, where it was like
know the name, but I don't remember what it was about.
Like it wouldn't survive a day in 2021. Yeah. I don't know how this show is going to survive either, because I mean, people will pick apart everything. I know Letterman's getting canceled for shit he said like 8 years ago. So it's like I feel like it's like a Beavis and Butthead coming back. It just seems like this is not the place for these shows that somehow thrived in a different universe. Like WWF, the one we all grew up loving, the Attitude Era, that would last one day and they'd have to just wipe it off TV.
Yeah, the thing was Gandhi had ADD and he was like horny as fuck. He was always trying to bang Cleopatra. And I think there was like some people in India who were like, you're making a mockery of like our most important figure ever. So JFK was great. He was like this, loudmouth fucking, he was like the quarterback, like captain of the football team. And he's just such an ass. It's such a great show. If they do bring it back, I hope they keep it as like edgy and fucking rude as it was. But if you haven't watched it, season 1 and 2, unbelievable. Dan, feel better, brother? Stay away from here. Don't come to work. And you know what? Enjoy your time in the hotel. Like try to make the best of it. Where it's like I can't. You don't have any responsibility.
I just saw someone new on Twitter who I'm gonna die in their face. They're like, "Oh, happy you can afford staying in a New York hotel." Like, dude. First of all, fuck you. Second of all, do you know how much hotels cost right now in New York?
Yeah, right.
It was like $70 a night.
They're paying
Shut
you
the
to
fuck up. Shut the fuck up.
Why don't you should die?
I might die in this guy's face. Just
you should like
fucking point.
Do like live updates to that guy and just look like worse and worse and worse. Take selfies like
yeah. Fuck you, dude.
Dan's dead and it's your fault.
It's your fault. Yeah, you made me die.
The best part is then everyone who was mean to you in the past, like all those tweets get dug up. Like, I can't believe you were so mean to Big Cat back in 2016.
You
died 5 years later. We'll start canceling all the trolls.
Fuck yes.
All right, boys. See you next time.
All right. See ya.